Hey, Waffle Crew. I hope you're all doing great. I'm Mark, and today we're diving into some fresh Reddit tales. If you enjoy these stories, consider giving a thumbs up, subscribing, and maybe even ringing that notification bell. Let's jump into our first story, sending you all tons of love. Our first post comes from Cautious Lobe3472, who writes, "Discovered my 27F spouse, 26M, has secretly drained our entire savings, and I'm unsure if I can trust him anymore. My husband, 26M, and I, 27F, have been married for nearly 2 years. Tonight, we had our worst argument ever, and I'm seriously thinking about taking a break. We both work hard and earn decent money for our age. We funded our wedding ourselves, and 4 years ago, we purchased and fixed up our own home. Money was never a problem in our relationship until recently. A big reason for our success has been our commitment to saving. While saving for our wedding and house, we set aside 30% of every paycheck. After the wedding, we dialed it back to a more sustainable 20% to grow our emergency fund and plan for future goals like kids, a new home, or a new car. I stuck to that plan. In fact, when my husband's car broke down unexpectedly, I covered the full cost of a replacement without needing a loan. When our HVAC system broke, I paid for that too. Despite these big expenses, I've maintained a solid emergency fund. But tonight, I learned my husband hasn't saved a dime. Our system was simple. His steady income covers monthly bills, while my freelance earnings handle larger expenses like student loans and unexpected costs. It worked well, or so I thought. When I asked why he hasn't saved anything, he claimed he's been paying off the credit card, which only he uses. I reviewed our budget, and based on his income, he should have at least $3,000 left each month after expenses. So I asked, "Where's that money going?" He had no answer. I checked his bank statements and was furious. No signs of cheating or gambling, but reckless, excessive spending. We've had serious talks about his spending habits before, and nearly a year ago, I made it clear he needed to stick to our financial plan. Not only did he break that promise, but he's spent more than he earns, dipping into our savings. I'm ambitious and goal-oriented, with big dreams for our future, where we'll be in 5 or 10 years. He's been eager to start a family, and while I was hesitant, I recently warmed to the idea. But now, with our savings nearly gone, our plans for a child or moving out of this town we both dislike are derailed. I feel blindsided and betrayed. He's broken multiple promises, and when I confronted him, his solution was to put half his yearly bonus into savings, even though we agreed that bonus would go toward his hefty student loans. I don't feel just disappointed. I feel disrespected. I don't understand why he hid this, or thought I wouldn't notice. I've lost so much trust in him, and I'm at a loss for how to move forward. Would time apart help? Can trust even be rebuilt? I'm completely lost. In the comments, Free Spirit 22 notes, "It's tough to respond without knowing what he's spending thousands on monthly without you noticing. Something feels off about this." OP replies, "I agree, it doesn't fully add up to me either." His statements showed tons of small purchases, tech gadgets, dining out, ordering lunch at work almost daily, lending money to his siblings, impulse buys, Costco hauls that added up, and just careless spending. Nothing massive individually, but it drained everything over time. I trusted he was following our plan, so I wasn't watching closely, which is why this hit me so hard. Past Wanderer responds, "You said, one reason we've done so well is because we've always been diligent about saving. We put away 30% of every paycheck. But based on your story, it sounds like you should have said I instead of we. You and your husband aren't financially aligned. Money issues are the top cause of divorce for a reason, and you're seeing why. This is a big deal with no easy fixes if you want to stay married. Time apart might give you space to think and weigh your options. Couples counseling, a financial literacy course, avoid the get-rich-quick ones, and a serious reflection on whether you want to stay in this marriage are likely your best paths. Since you're closer to the situation, stepping back might help you see other options. At the very least, focus on getting yourself out of the town you hate without relying on him. If he steps up, that's a bonus." OP later provides an update. "I wanted to update since many had strong opinions. First, my husband isn't a reckless freeloader. He covers most of our monthly bills, while I handle larger, less frequent expenses like quarterly or annual payments. This works for us since my income varies. He's also incredibly generous, always picking up the tab for friends, buying gifts to make people smile, and putting others first. It's one of the things I love most about him, but without tracking, it adds up fast. For those assuming I don't earn much because I freelance and run my own business, this is my first year full-time after working a 9 to 5 and grinding on my business at night. I wouldn't have taken that leap without his steady paycheck. My business is doing well, but I failed as a partner too. He wasn't upfront about struggling to pay his credit cards, and he should have told me, but I should have checked in more. I thought he was spending within our plan while saving, but he was dipping into savings to cover his cards instead of admitting he needed help. He knows that's not okay, but I need to ensure he feels safe coming to me before this happens again. To clarify, no, he's not trying to trap me with a baby. We both want kids, it's just about timing. No, I'm not jobless. I run a successful business. Yes, small purchases added up. Lunches, lending friends money, video games, gifts, random Amazon orders. It snowballed to $3,000 a month before he realized. Moving forward, we've agreed to close most of his credit cards, deposit his full paycheck into our joint account instead of half for full transparency, and stick to a strict budget with personal spending money. We haven't decided on fully merging finances, but we'll be more open and accountable. This isn't a deal breaker for me. I love my husband, and he loves me. We're both committed to making this work. Thanks to everyone for the helpful advice. Hopefully, this is our last fight like this. A commenter responds, "This isn't a deal breaker, and you think you're partly to blame? Okay, sis. See you back here in a year." OP replies, "I get why you'd say that, but relationships are complex. I share some responsibility. I saw his spending. He spent a lot on me too, and assumed he was still saving. I can be harsh when upset, and my temper isn't his fault. That doesn't excuse him hiding his credit card struggles or dipping into savings without telling me, but he was afraid to stress me out. That's on me to fix. We've now set a clear budget together and know what we need to work on. Marriage is tough, and walking away isn't always the answer. We're committed, and I believe he can change. I know people expect drama, but this is real life, and we're working through it together." Many comments expressed distrust, noting his generosity with their money feels irresponsible. Others said they'd trust him cautiously, but find monitoring every penny exhausting. What do you think? Share your thoughts below, and let's move to the next story. Before we dive in, a trigger warning for attempted child abandonment and coercive reproduction. This post is from the True Off My Chest subreddit by Out of Sanity, who writes, "I resent my daughter. I know this makes me sound awful, but I need to vent. I can't discuss this with friends or family, nor do I want to. I'm 27 and had a friends with benefits arrangement with a college guy. Let's call him Mark. We were young, not ready for commitment. Then I got pregnant. I told Mark to discuss options, abortion, adoption, or him taking custody if he wanted. I never wanted kids, so I was open to any solution. But Mark didn't take it well. He insisted we could make it work, especially since we were in our final year of college. He pushed for marriage and a family. I refused. His family got involved, calling, texting, even showing up at my part-time job. I know it's my fault, but I caved. I was overwhelmed. My mom had just passed, my family was stressed, and my best friend was dealing with issues I won't detail. I felt terrible, but agreed to keep the baby, though I refused to marry Mark. Now we have a 5-year-old daughter. I'm a wreck. I never wanted kids and can't feel any maternal bond. What's worse is she's a great kid, rarely fussy, kind, and undemanding. I feel guilty for resenting her. I only have her on weekends, with Mark taking her most days. But it doesn't help. She talks about wanting me and her dad together, but I can't. I yelled at her once when she drew a picture of me and Mark holding hands. I apologized, but the guilt lingers. I don't know what I'm doing. I just needed to write this down. I know I'm a terrible mom, but I don't know how to improve or if I want to. I've thought about giving up my parental rights, but even that feels worse. I'm trapped in a mess I made. I should have fought harder or chosen abortion. Damn me for being weak. About a week later, OP updates. Some things happened, and I need to write them down, maybe get insight. I'll call my daughter Abby for this post. I told Mark I want to change our custody arrangement, possibly give up my parental rights. Many here agreed it's best for me and Abby. He didn't take it well, texting me all week, insisting we could fix things. We agreed texts are fine, but calls are for emergencies. So when he called Friday evening begging me to see Abby, I went. Abby had a complete meltdown, screaming, crying, clinging to my leg, asking why I wanted to leave her and what she did wrong. I was horrified. Mark's mom told Abby I was planning to abandon her, saying she wouldn't go to my house this weekend. I had to take Abby to my place early, and Mark stayed over, saying he's too worried about us to leave. Even after saying I wanted to give up my rights, I can't now. The image of Abby crying, begging me not to leave, is stuck in my head. I feel hopeless. Right now, Abby's lying on the couch with me watching TV. She's usually chatty about her favorite characters, but now she's quiet, staying close. I hear Mark in the kitchen. He called in sick and is staying for the weekend. I don't know what to do. Edit. Any suggestions for affordable online therapy? Mark's looking for therapists for Abby, but I'd like individual therapy online. A month later, OP updates again. Not sure if anyone's still interested, but writing helps me process. Abby's doing okay, a bit clingy, but back to her happy self. We're watching her closely. Mark decided she doesn't need a therapist, but I'm not convinced. For those asking about Mark's mom, she's had no contact with Abby since the incident, though Mark's been talking to her. Comments about Mark made me think. I didn't mention before, but in college, we used protection, and I was on birth control. I believe the pregnancy was an accident, but some comments made me paranoid. Mark's dated others over the years, and we mostly talked about Abby. This past month has been odd. We're talking more, he's apologized a lot, but I'm unsure if he's sincere. My best friend says to keep him at a distance, but it's hard with him coming over more for Abby. He's invited me to his place, and I've gone a few times when Abby begged. I'm trying to make sense of it all. I start therapy tomorrow, online, hoping for guidance. I'll answer any questions. I know this is messy. 3 months later, OP posts. I've gotten private messages asking about me, so here's an update. Therapy's been tough but good. My therapist and I are getting comfortable. We've dug into my issues, and it's sad realizing how rough my life's been. I started new medication weeks ago, but I'm unsure if it's helping. Abby's been in therapy for 2 months, I insisted. She's happier, loves puzzles and octopuses, and tries to trip me like a cat when I walk. It's cute but doesn't work. I'm teaching her cooking basics, like my mom did with me, letting her watch and ask about steps. We'll wait before she helps. With Mark, nothing's changed. I stopped letting him in when he visits. We only text about Abby. From what Abby says, Mark's mom is back, but behaving. Things are okay otherwise. I'll update if anything big happens. Thanks to those who reached out. Commodore comments, thought about you a lot. Glad you and Abby are in therapy. Best decision. How do you feel about Abby now with professional help? How's she doing? Hugs, wishing you both the best. OP replies, my therapist says I don't truly hate Abby. I've had resentment from the circumstances and timing of her birth. I'm diagnosed with PPD, which didn't help. She says to take it slow, not pressure myself to be a perfect mom right away. I'm spending time with Abby by choice now, not obligation, and it's helping. Abby's mostly okay. Her therapist says she sees herself as my protector, thinking I'm always sad. When she was with my best friend, they told her I was having a bad day or a week. She's never seen me truly happy, so she wants to be the hero who makes me happy. She was scared of losing that chance when her grandma said I'd abandon her. The therapist is helping her let go of that mindset, and it's going well. That ending broke my heart. Abby seeing herself as her mom's hero shows how perceptive kids are. I'm so glad she's in therapy. She'll need it. What do you think of this situation? Share your thoughts below. A huge thank you for engaging with today's stories. Your support means the world to me. See you in the next one. Take care and much love.